Hey guys, welcome back. In today's lesson, we're going to do some of the funnest problems in the entire book. These are polygons in the coordinate plane. These are kind of like miniature puzzles. You have to use logic and all the information that you know about polygons. You have to pull that all together to solve these problems. So here we go. So our first example gives us this. Take a look at this polygon in the coordinate plane and see if you can figure out what the missing coordinates are for t and s. So pause the video and try to figure those out. So the first thing to do is let's go ahead and look for the coordinates for point S. Okay, take a look at our diagram. What kind of shape do we have here? Well, we have, these are congruent sides, and then this looks like this is parallel to that. So this looks a lot like an isosceles trapezoid. So let's look for the coordinates of S. Well, what do we know about the coordinates of S? What about the x-coordinate? Well, the x-coordinate is just going to correspond to point R. The y-coordinate corresponds to it also, but it's on the negative, it's in quadrant 4, so it has the opposite. Okay, it has the opposite value of the y-coordinate for point R. So we know that the x-coordinate of S is just A, and then the y-coordinate is going to be the opposite of A minus C. So it's going to be negative A plus C. Let's go over to point T. For the x-coordinate, you can see that it's on the y-axis. It's also corresponding to point Q's x-coordinate. So the x-coordinate is just going to be 0. What about the y-coordinate? Well, the logic is the same for the y-coordinate of t as it was for the y-coordinate of s. So it's just going to be the opposite of the y-coordinate for q. So where q had 1/2 a, t is going to be negative 1/2 a. Here's our next example. So we start off with a triangle, and we have a right angle symbol, so we have a right triangle. Here's a little bit more information about this triangle. These two sides are congruent. The two legs are congruent. So this is an isosceles right triangle. And in about a chapter or two, we're going to learn a lot about isosceles right triangles. It's called the special right triangle. We're given the coordinates of this vertex A. They are A comma B. For point B, this vertex here, we're given its y-coordinate, but we need to solve for its x-coordinate. What do you think its x-coordinate is going to be? Yeah, it's just going to have the same x-coordinate as up here, point A. Now for C, this one is really fun because we have to solve for the x and the y-coordinate. So let's go ahead and fill in this information first. So the coordinates for this point B are just A comma H. Now what about C? This one's really fun. I encourage you to pause the video and try to figure this one out on your own. Okay, so for point C, the y-coordinate, the height of this, is going to be the same as the height of this. So the y-coordinate is going to be just h. The x-coordinate is really fun. So what do we know? This is an isosceles triangle, so we know that this length, the length of AB, is equal to this length, the length of BC. Well, how long is AB? Well, it extends vertically up, so it looks like the length of this should be b, little b, but it's not because it's little b minus little h. Okay, that's how long this segment is. So this segment has to have the same length. It must be b minus h. But there's also this little piece over here. So to go from the origin, or the 0 all the way out to point C, okay, you would also have to add this little A piece. So that means that the coordinates of C are A plus B minus H, comma H. And that's all we have. Hope you enjoy your coordinate polygons. They're like little puzzles, super satisfying when you solve them. Have fun, guys.